Dear friends, engineers, consultants, and architects, in this particular fire safety series, I am going to tackle many different subjects related with the fire security. This will be detailed in next fourth presentation. For this particular subject, I am referring to a book, Fire Safety in Buildings, written by myself out of my experience of 35 years in central PWD at different level of engineering in Bombay, that is Mumbai, Nagpur, Hoshangabad, Delhi, Amritsar, and several other stations. I've written this book out of that experience, and this was the first book of its kind in India which gave this subject to everybody. So please purchase and refer this book. In this particular slide, I have shown different type of fire safety equipment that will come in discussion. These fire safety appliances, tools and tackles are required for dealing with the fire and mostly by fire brigade. Before we go into detail of this particular series, I would like to introduce the very first concept given in Rigved, our Indian Rigved system. Agni is the most important deity of Rigvedic pantheon. He is second only to Indra in the number of hymns dedicated to him. There are in total 10,600 rhymes in Rig Veda which deals with various aspects, out of which the Agni is first. Agni means fire, both the physical fire and the divine fire. He acts as a messenger between human and the gods, carrying the offering, that is yajna, to Dev. Now pay attention to the word he in this presentation. We have taken fire as a god, that's why the word he comes. The Agni is considered as the mouth of gods, as offering reaching deities through fire. The very first richa is about Agni. Agnim mile purohitam yagyas devam ritvijam hotaram dhatmam. So in India we have taken Agni as a very pious subject. The subject of fire involves many different aspects, out of which I have given 17 different presentations through slides. One of them is fire in general, which we are carrying out just now. Second is fire, internal fire safety as per National Building Code. External fire security as per National Building Code. Water sprinklers, fire ventilations, total fire suppression and deluge systems, intelligent fire control systems, access control systems, security gadgets and access control, electronic security through CCTV, fire standard rules and regulations, fire pumps and static water tanks, fire control stations and fire provision in lift and metro stations, fire control in electric substations, emergency aspect through. So let me remind you that most of the initial stage drawings submitted by architect to approving authority are returned only due to fire and not due to air conditioning. So we have to deal this very sincerely. Dear friends, I was talking about drawings and document to be submitted to fire approving authority. The firefighting system of a building has to be designed as per local building bylaws that inter alia incorporate National Building Code of India 2016 and 2025, which is in draft stage currently. As per Delhi building bylaws, the designer is supposed to submit the following to Delhi Fire Service. Building plans for multi-story special buildings, for multi-story building which are more than 15 meter in height and as per National Building Code, and for special building like assembly, institutional, industrial storage, and hazardous occupancy, the following additional information shall be furnished indicating in the building plan. 1. Access to fire appliances vehicles with details of vehicle turning circle, vehicle turning circle, and clear motorable access around the building. Size, width of the main and alternate staircase also with balcony, approach, corridor, ventilated lobby, etc. This is continued. Dear friends, we have discussed the documents which are required to be submitted to the authority having jurisdiction. Will define this authority having jurisdiction. First, pay attention to this particular slide. Item number 15. Location and dimension of static storage water tank and pump room. 16th item is location and details of fixed fire protection installment such as sprinklers, wet risers, hose reels, drencher, CO2 installations, etc. And last is 17th, location and details of first aid firefighting equipment or installations. We had been talking of local authorities having jurisdiction. It is necessary for anybody desirous of constructing or modifying any building or part of building to different AHJs. In construction, AHJ refers to government agency, office or individual that has legal power to enforce building codes, review and approve plans, issue permits and conduct inspections after construction. In case of Delhi, it is DDA, the authority having jurisdiction may be Gram Panchayat, Nagar Palika, Nagar Nigam, Metropolitan Authority, etc., depending upon population of the place. Friends, the concept of fire can be better learned by a diagram known as fire tetrahedron that has four faces or elements. The four elements are oxygen to sustain the combustion, sustain heat to raise the material to its ignition temperature, fuel or combustible material, and subsequently an exothermic chemical chain reaction in the material. Each of the four sides of the fire tetrahedron symbolizes the fuel, heat, oxygen and chemical chain reaction. Theoretical fire extinguishers put out fire by taking away one or more element of the fire tetrahedron. Say earlier, the concept of fire triangle was being taught to fire persons, fire researchers, and students, and fire brigade authorities. But now they have added chemical chain reaction also. Friends, in this presentation, we'll learn about the stages of fire. There are three generally recognized stages of a fire. The first one is incipient stage, is a region where preheating, distillation, and slow pyrolysis are in progress. Gas and submicron particles are generated and transported away from the source of diffusion. Air movement and weak convection movement produced by the buoyancy of the product of pyrolysis. हिंदी में इसे सुलगना कहते हैं, आग का सुलगना. Second stage is smoldering stage. That is a region of fully developed pyrolysis that begins with initial and includes the initial stage of combustion. Invisible aerosols and visible smoke particles are generated and transported away from the source of moderate convection pattern and background air movement. The flaming stage is a region of rapid reaction that involves a period of initial occurrence of flame to fully developed fire. Heat transfer from the fire occurs predominantly from radiation and convection from the flame. Friends, in this particular slide, on the top I have shown four stages of fire with some example. The first one is initial incipient stage, then growth stage, third is fully developed stage fire, and next is decay stage. That means fire is getting out. Let us talk about how to extinguish the fire. Remove any one element of the fire tetrahedron. That is, there are four ways. One, cool the burning material. Second, exclude oxygen. Third, removal of the fuel. Fourth, break the chemical chain reaction. Now this oxygen can be excluded by some sort of कंबल्स उड़ा दें आप, जहाँ पर भी आग लगी, जिस व्यक्ति को आग लगी या जिस वस्तु में आग लगी है उसके ऊपर कंबल, फायर प्रूफ कंबल डालने से ऑक्सीजन उसको नहीं पहुंचेगी और फायर बहुत जल्दी बुझ जाएगी. Through this and next slide, I will describe the various type of fire based on material. As per Indian Standard 2190 of 2010, selection, installation and maintenance of first aid fire extinguishers, code of practice. For all practical purposes, the basic type of fires can be grouped into following four classes. The first one is class A fire. The fires involving solid combustible material of organic nature such as wood, paper, rubber, plastics, etc., where the cooling effect of water is essential for extinguishing of fires. Class B fire involves fire flammable liquid or liquefiable solids are like where a blanketic action is essential. The understanding of the type of fire is very essential for designing the enclosures. Friends, we were describing the type of fires. The third category is known as class C fire, fire involving flammable gases under pressure including liquefied gases where it is necessary to inhibit the burning gas at a fast rate with an inert gas, powder or vaporizing liquid for extinguishment. The fourth class is class D fire, fire involving combustible metals such as magnesium, aluminum, zinc, sodium, potassium, etc. When the burning metals are reactive to water and water containing agents and in certain cases carbon dioxide, halogens, halogenated hydrocarbons and ordinary dry powders. These fires require special media and technique to extinguish. Friend, uh, we have seen fire in solids, fire in liquids, fire in gases, that is the third type, and type 4 is in combustible material. In other codes world over, there is another type of fire which is electrical fire. What National Building Code 2016 does not recognize this as a separate fire type because electrical fires are not treated as a class of their own since any fire involving or started by electrical equipment must in fact fall into any one of the other categories once the electric switch is made off. The normal procedure for dealing with an electrical fire is to cut off the electricity and use an extinguishing method appropriate to what is burning. If this cannot be done with certainty, special extinguisher agents will be required which are non-conducting. Friends, in the previous two slides we have discussed four different type of fires as per National Building Code 2016 or modified version 225 2025. Other standards have slightly different fire classification scheme of which prominent is NFPA, National Fire Security Standard 10 of USA classifies the fire instance as Class A fire, Class B fire, Class D fire, C fire, class D fire, and fifth one is class K fire. Now, the first four categories are already discussed in National Building Code 2016. The fifth one is class K fire is not existing in our National Building Code, but class K fires are fires in cooking appliances that involve combustible cooking media, vegetable, animal, oils or fats. This is especially important for ladies working in the kitchen or gents working in kitchen. The only one more thing is important to learn is that they have a different designation symbol for different type of fires. As per NFPA 10, class A fire is represented by a green triangle. For class B fire, it is designated through a red square. Class C fire, it is designated through a blue circle. And class 4 fire is designated via yellow decagon. And fifth appliances does not have a special designation. Now this designation part is to be remembered for quick recognition of the cylinder type, fire extinguisher type. In in all type of fire extinguisher, uh, the the very this head of the cylinder itself uh, tells what type of fire it can extinguish. Yeah. It may not be uh, different type of fire. It may combine different type of fires. That means solid, liquid, and gases. That is written on the extinguisher itself. This slide provides the detail of a harmonized European standard on fire extinguishers, BS-EN3, which came into effect in 1997, providing a single standard of fire extinguishers across Europe. In this, the first first three are the same as we have already learned. Class D is a new type of fire which is said to be foam or dry chemical powder can be used to control fire involving shallow liquid spills through water in the form of a spray is generally used to cool the containers. And class F, of course, fire involving cooking oil and gases, fats. Friends, in this uh, slide, we are going to discuss about the hazards, fire hazards. Fire hazards are classified into three different categories. First one is light hazard, second is ordinary or moderate hazard, and third is extra high hazard. Now, these type of hazards become important while selecting the fixed type of portable type of fire extinguishers in the building. So we have to learn this classification. In this slide, we are going to discuss only extra high hazard. Extra hazard occupancies are locations where the total amount of Class A combustibles and Class B flammable present in storage, production, use, or as finished product or combination thereof, and is over and above those expected in occupancy classified as ordinary hazard. These occupancies could consist of woodworking, vehicle repair, aircraft and boat servicing, cooking area, individual product display showrooms, product convention center displays, and storage and manufacturing processes such as painting, dipping and coating, including flammable liquid handling, also included in warehousing of or in process storage of other than class 1 and class 2 commodities. The flammable liquids may be more than 20 liters. Friends, there are two type of classifications for firefighting system. The first one is known as classification as portable or fixed firefighting systems. Now, portable fire extinguishers are the fire extinguishers in cylindrical form which can be taken from one place to another. The fixed firefighting system is in the form of hydrant systems, wet riser, dry riser, yard hydrants. The second classification is based on primary firefighting systems or secondary firefighting systems. Primary firefighting systems are the portable fire extinguishers to be used by occupant primarily if trained, and secondary are the fixed firefighting system which are supposed to be used by local trained staff or by that of fire brigade. Some of them operate automatically after giving the pre-warning to occupants about happening of severe fire in the around area. In this slide, we have defined what is fire safety engineering. It is defined as the process of quantifying the risk that a fire hazard presents, taking into account the specific of the building, its occupancy, its use, and the resultant fire hydrant dynamics, and if shown to be unacceptable, establishing the measures needed to control the hazard until the risk reaches acceptable levels. This is very concrete definition. Through this slide, friends, we are discussing what could be most effective fire protection systems to be provided in a building complex. There are several different types, but at least whatever are included in desired to be provided in a modern firefighting system design. First one is automatic fire protection system. Second is alarm and voice communication, that is EVAC, evacuation systems, emergency telephone systems, automatic dry extinguishing systems, automatic sprinkler systems, deluge systems, hose reel systems, manual fire extinguisher, smoke venting systems, security venting systems, access control, intruder alarm, and CCTV surveillance, that is closed circuit television surveillance. At least the designer has to endeavor and involve himself or herself in providing all these items in the modern firefighting effective systems. Dear friends, you know the wet riser system pump is provided for feeding 24 by 7 hours water supply to the wet riser system. Now, this pump can be used for some other areas, other purposes also, including a sprinkler system. If this area is sprinkler system is small, and this is dependent upon in man high-rise building, the basement is used for car parking or housing transformers or storage, and other floor may be used for shopping areas, departmental stores. The total area used for such purpose being small, in such cases, the same wet riser pump may be used for feeding the sprinkler system, provided that the total area of the basement to be protected is less than 500 square meter. The total area utilized as shops and departmental storage less than 1000 square meter. The pump has a capacity of 2850 liter per minute with electric motor. A separate standby pump of equal capacity is provided, which may be either diesel driven or by a generator of appropriate size. Friends, engineer and architects, this particular slide demonstrates wet rising system for building height exceeding 60 meter. In high-rise buildings, if the height is exceeding 60 meter, there is a practice of providing service floor after certain number of floors. And these facilities are provided in that system. Friends, this slide on wet riser provides the design feature of the wet riser. The distribution of wet riser installation in the building should be so situated as not to be further from 30 meters away from any point in the area covered by the hydrant and at a stage of height of 0.7 meter to 1 meter from the floor. Let me remind you that we need one wet riser system, at least one wet riser system per 1000 square meter floor area of building. So this, if you draw a circle of diameter 30 radius of 30 meter, it will cover almost 1000 square meter of floor area. The rising bank should not be more than 50 meter apart in horizontal distance. For service inlet with gate and non-return valve to charge the riser in the event of failure of a static pump directly from the mobile pump of the fire service should be provided on the wet riser system. The fire service inlet for 100 mm internal diameter rising man should have collecting head with two numbers of 63 mm fire inlets and for 150 for rising man. Collecting head with four numbers of 63 inlets should be provided.